The Teacher Who Was Bad at Geography. Story by Storytime English. This is Miss McKay. Miss McKay is a teacher. She is a wonderful teacher. She likes teaching a lot. She likes her students, and her students like her too. She teaches English. She teaches English very well. But she has a secret. She's not good at geography. She's very bad at geography. She doesn't know the map very well. For example, she thinks that Australia is in Europe, next to Hungary. But it's not. Austria is next to Hungary. Australia is somewhere else. It's on the other side of the globe. Miss McKay is not good at geography. It's summertime. Miss McKay is in a summer camp. A lot of children come to the camp. A lot of children come to the camp from all around the world. There's Gunnar from Iceland. He is an Icelandic boy. There's Miranda from Uganda. She's an African girl. There's Carlos from Venezuela. He's a South American boy. There's Liv from the Netherlands. She's a Dutch girl. And there's Bibek from Nepal. He's a Nepalese boy. The children learn English at the camp. They all like Miss Kay very much. And Miss McKay likes them very much. At the end of the camp, she wants to give each child a present. She thinks hard. She thinks all night. Then, the next day, she goes to the shops and buys presents for the children. She goes to a lot of shops. She buys a lot of presents. At the party, she gives her presents to the children. Miss McKay gives her present to Gunnar. Gunnar, the Icelandic boy, opens his present. He looks at his present and he's very surprised. It's a big straw hat. But in Iceland, it's always cold. You can't wear a straw hat. Then Miss McKay gives her present to Miranda. Miranda, the Ugandan girl, opens her present. She looks at the present and she's very surprised. It's a sled. But in Uganda, it's always hot. It never snows there. You can't use a sled. Then Miss McKay gives her present to Carlos. Carlos, the Venezuelan boy, opens his present. He looks at his present and he's very surprised. It's a pair of warm mittens. But in Venezuela, it's always hot. You can't wear mittens there. Then Miss McKay gives her present to Liv. Liv, the Dutch girl, opens her present. She looks at her present and she's very surprised. It's a mountain climbing gear. But in the Netherlands, there are no mountains at all. You can't go mountain climbing there. Next, Miss McKay gives her present to Bibek. Bibek, the Nepalese boy, opens his present. He looks at his present and he's very surprised. It's a pair of striped trunks. But in Nepal, it's cold and there are no lakes or a sea. You cannot swim in Nepal. All the children are very surprised, but they say thank you to Miss McKay. Miss McKay is very surprised too. Why? No one is happy with their presents. Then, after the party, the children go to bed. Miss McKay goes to Mr. Lopez. Mr. Lopez is a teacher too. She asks, "What's wrong with my present? Why is everybody unhappy?" Mr. Lopez switches on his phone and shows a map to Miss McKay. He shows her a map of the world. And he says, "Look, Miss McKay." And he points out the countries to Miss McKay. Miss McKay looks at the map and now she understands. She says, "I think I must learn some geography." And now Miss McKay knows that Iceland is a very cold country in the north of Europe, and you can't wear a straw hat in Iceland because it's always cold. Miss McKay knows that Uganda is a very hot country in Africa, and you can't use a sled there because there is no snow. Miss McKay knows that Venezuela is a very hot country in South America, and you can't wear a pair of mittens there because it's very hot. Miss McKay knows that the Netherlands is a very flat country in the north of Europe. There are no hills and mountains, so you can't use a mountain climbing gear in the Netherlands. And Miss McKay knows that Nepal is a very cold country in the south of Asia, and there are no lakes or there are no seas, so you can't go swimming in Nepal. You cannot use swimming trunks there. And now Miss McKay also knows that the world is a fantastic place with many different people, many different animals, many different kinds of weather, and it is beautiful as it is. The end of the story.